What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, what I'm going to be talking about in this episode is, I was watching People's Court on YouTube, and I saw this episode of this woman who was trying to sue her landlord for moving expenses. I'll get to that later, but she was suing her landlord for moving expenses, and it didn't really go the exact way she wanted it to. Well, the exact way she wanted it to. And I'm going to show that to you guys right now. It's kind of funny. So, let me start it up right now. I have the whole episode right here. Well, this part of the episode right here. And let me show it to you. Okay. 3, 2, 1, now.
He's upset because I stopped paying rent in January because the house is Terroshus.
Terroshus.
There's roaches?
Oh, it has roaches. I'm like, I didn't know what you said. There's a new word, I wanted to learn it.
This is the plaintiff, Audrey Cedeno. She says she lived in the defendant's house for 4 years, and once she reported him for no heat and a roach and rat infestation, he kicked her out. She's been a good tenant, and the only reason he's evicting her is out of spite. If he wants her out badly enough, he's going to have to pay her to leave so she can move and find another place.
Really?
She's suing for $3,000, the amount it's going to cost her to vacate.
Seriously?
This is the defendant, Hugo Flightus. He says the plaintiff's been far from an ideal tenant. The woman is mean to the other tenants in the house. She leaves hot plates burning, causing a hazard to her neighbors. And when she doesn't pay her bills, he can't pay his.
Oh, that is
now
dangerous.
The crazy woman is suing him to move? Her moving issues are her own, not his, and he owes nothing. He's accused of kicking a woman to the curb.
Wow.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Audrey Cedeno?
Yes.
You are suing Hugo Fleites, your former landlord, for $3,000 in moving costs. Okay, tell me what's going on.
He's upset because I stopped paying rent in January because the house is Terroshus.
Terroshus.
There's roaches?
Oh, it
Terroshus?
I'm like, I didn't know what you said. There's a new word, I wanted to learn it. Okay.
Oh, sorry, my bed's gonna
No, that's right. The house has roaches.
Roaches, rats, no heat, mold in my room, in the bathroom, and dog poo on the floors.
Okay, and you haven't paid rent since January?
Sounds like my adoptive sister's house.
And the city tipped him off. That's when all this
Not tip them off. They have to notify him to comply if there's
But
an
they
issue.
must have notified him to tell
Right.
him.
Right. Oh, and they told him who it was that called.
Yes, he knew it was me. Yes.
Right. Okay. How did he know it was you?
Because he told my daughter, can I use a certain word? Or he called me, he knew it was me, and we talked to me on the phone. He said he knew it was me.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not gonna deny it.
Okay.
You know, I did.
All right. So, do you have a lease?
No lease.
Did he give you notice to move?
Yes, after I called the city, yes. He gave me a notice, a 30-day notice.
Okay.
He called me at work, asking me
Well,
to
that
move.
was nice of him.
Okay.
And then I thought about it. That's not right. It's either you want me to move. Then he sends me a letter saying I owe him money for rent.
Right. I'm not getting this. All right. What happened?
She's been having a hard time paying her rent since November, and I haven't had it. And now that my income is shorter, I can't afford to pay my mortgage without her paying her rent.
How long has she lived
Dang.
She's been there for about 4 years.
there? Okay. So when she started to not pay rent, it was when?
How on earth can
She's
you
had
spend 4
struggles
years
all
of that
along, and I've
shit?
always been kind with her and let her go. And you know, and she's gone back on her feet and started to pay again. And this year it started to happen again. And the problem was that I ran out of money, and if I can't
So
pay,
she wouldn't be on time? She paid
wouldn't-
November and December, but it wasn't on time?
No, she didn't pay November, December, January, February.
So she hasn't paid since October?
Yes.
May I ask you a question? Have you filed a notice of eviction?
Yes, I have, Judge.
Okay, and what is going on with your notice of eviction?
We're waiting.
When did you file it?
I filed it at the end of February.
Why'd you wait so long?
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to give her a chance. I've always been very good and very
So you
nice to her.
filed it at the end of February, and what's going on with it?
It's waiting and pending in court.
Seems like a pretty decent guy. Don't think he's that
So-
malicious.
What are you suing him for?
For security deposit so I can move. Number one, I did pay rent in November because I had the money.
Wait a minute. You acknowledge that you didn't pay rent.
Right.
So you've lived there rent free.
I'm withholding the rent because he didn't repair the place.
Got
That's
it. All right. So,
why.
but he's not even counterclaiming against you for the rent in this lawsuit.
And I'm surprised
You're bringing
about
him
that.
in a lawsuit because you want him to pay your moving expenses. Because what?
Because he asked me to move. I have evidence right here. He asked me to move because he needs
Right.
to move for his family members.
Okay, stop.
Really?
I need you to work with me.
Okay. And you don't
Let
have to
me
yell
explain
at
what a
me.
lawsuit is, because I'm incredulous. Let me explain what a lawsuit is.
Better listen
a
to
lawsuit
her.
is that side telling me that this side done them wrong.
Yes.
And because they've done them wrong, they have done them wrong to the tune of X.
Yes.
So first of all, he did something wrong, and second of all, your damages are X.
Yes.
Okay. What did he do wrong? He asked you to leave?
Yes. For
What's
no
wrong with
reason.
him asking you to leave?
Because I called the city.
Okay, but you're on a month to month. He can ask you to
No.
leave because he doesn't like your new hair
No,
color.
it's
True.
a week to week. I pay week to week. I don't
Worse.
pay-
All he has to give you is 1 week's notice. That
True.
just made it worse. Tell me what he did wrong. You know you don't own the place, right?
Oh, no, I don't own the place.
Right. You're a renter, which means you
Yes.
have every
Yeah.
right that every other renter in your position has. And your right is, and I can't help but notice that you didn't call the city until after you weren't paying your rent, right? After you start saying, well, if you don't pay, you
No.
can't stay, then she calls the city in January. But let's put that to the side. It doesn't matter. Let's just say that you paid your rent and then you legitimately made your call, and that's great. All that's fine. Okay. He has a right to give you just 30 days notice, and you got to go. Because that's what you have. You don't have a lease. You have a month to month. So tell me why he would have to pay you $3,000 for you to move, just because you need it?
No, because he's rushing me out. First of all, you don't.
Rushing you out? You've been there 3 months. What rushing you out?
Good
What planet
God.
are you living in?
First of all, I shouldn't live in them conditions. Them conditions went there for 4
You
years.
shouldn't live under those conditions. You
And
should
people
move.
say I'm
They
stuck
want
up.
you to move.
Yeah, and
Right,
I'd be
so
happy
move. Why
to.
don't you move?
I will be happy to. But first of all,
Happy to when? After you've extracted how many free months?
Well, wait a minute. I'm not the only one who lives in that house. All right, there's like 13 other tenants in that house.
Okay.
All right, it's illegal what he's doing. Number one.
Great. So
All
then
right?
you call the city and he's
I
going to get
did.
shut down.
I did.
Tell me how he has to pay you $3,000. On what
first of
authority?
all,
What?
$3,000 for moving
Because you need it now?
expenses.
No, because I gave security deposit my first move.
Why don't you
in
use all
there.
that money? You're not paying for rent. How much is the rent?
Yeah.
800 a month.
Okay, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You got a big little war chest already.
Yeah, she
Tell
does.
Me
I
why?
just went back to work.
I don't understand you. Why does he have a legal obligation to pay your moving expenses?
Uh-huh.
But hey, he wants me out. He's going to pay to put me out.
I
Oh my
don't know
God.
how you have lived your life up to this point where you can look me in the eye with that kind of hubris and tell me if he wants me out, he'll have to pay. Has everyone
Hubris
always
means
paid your way
confidence.
in
That's
your
what she
whole life?
means.
Where if you want me out, then you got to pay me $3,000 to get out. Why? Because your body's there? No. He doesn't have to pay your moving expenses. You got to pay your moving expenses. And apparently some other court is going to decide whether you are making it up or whether you're right about the situation and whether you're entitled to rent abatement or 100% abatement like you've taken because you haven't paid rent in
Well,
so
why
long.
would I make it up
He
for?
does not I'm fast. I don't even want to get off the bench. I really want to understand your theory.
Why would
How?
I have a...
Why does he have to pay you $3,000?
Because that's not right. First of all, you want me out, number one. You make
Why
my life
can't he
miserable.
want you out?
I get to smell
Why
weed.
can't he want you out?
Because I called the city on him, number
So
one.
that means he can never want you out?
Well, you know something?
No,
I have
wanna
witnesses.
work with you.
No, you don't work with me.
Tell
You're
me-
talking loud.
tell
and,
me-
and I need to bring this down a little bit.
God, who does this
Say
woman
something that
think
makes
she
sense to me,
is?
And then I won't be so excited. Tell me how it is that you placing a call to the city means he can never want you out.
No, that's not the point. The point is, because first of all, I was going to give the money. I had the money, but he don't collect the money, number one. Some lady in the house collects
What does
the
that
money.
have to do
You're
with
not answering
it?
my
No,
question.
but I'm trying to explain to you.
That would be the answer to the question, did you try to pay your rent? I'm not
I
asking
did.
that. No one's asking you that. You don't own the place, so you can't stay. If he doesn't like your style choice, He could give you a 30-day notice. Do you understand what being a month-to-month or a week-to-week tenancy means? He could give you a 7-day notice and say you're out. He just has to give you notice, and all you get is what everybody else gets. All the rest of us mere mortals. You know, if we get a 30-day notice, we got to be out in 30 days. Why are you special? Why does someone have to pay your $3,000 for you to get into a nice new spot?
Well, I didn't say I was special, number one.
And your lawsuit kind of indicates you think you are because
Yeah,
you
she's
don't
acting
abide
like
by
it
the law.
too.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Verdict for the defendant.
This was a waste. What kind of judge are you?
She's disrespectful too.
You can tell me. You can tell me here.
Gosh.
You can tell me. Anything you want.
No, this is ridiculous. This guy is a slumlord, number one. All right? He takes all my money. This man is not poor, number one. He drives a Mercedes truck. He has 13 people renting rooms to.
So?
You waste my time to come out here and be humiliated? I don't think so.
But
this must be America? No, this is right.
God.
This is wrong.
You know, you do realize that the law is
America
not on your
at
side,
its
though.
finest.
Well,
He doesn't owe you the money to move. He doesn't owe you according to the law.
Well, you know something? Well, the city person would better do their job because I will. When I get back home, I'm going straight to the city and I'm calling the police department.
Is he
I
serious?
want something done because I just had to live in filth and trash. You never call somebody crazy?
Right.
Honey, you're crazy.
All right.
You're the crazy one.
All right.
God. See
All
what
right,
he
so
has to
step in
say.
here.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to add to that?
I feel sorry for that woman.
So do I.
Any
so
validity
we all.
to her
We
claims
all
about
do.
the conditions there?
God.
None whatsoever.
The Terroshus
Terroshus.
situation?
There is no
Terroshus.
roaches. There is no
God.
rats.
I believe him too. Okay, so that was basically it. She seemed like an absolute spoiled brat, to be honest with you, the plaintiff in that case. She wanted him to pay her moving expenses because he evicted her. The landlord is not responsible. I never rented an apartment before, but I do know this from watching TV court shows. The landlord is not responsible for paying someone's moving expenses if they get evicted. Just saying, they really aren't, no matter what the reason of eviction is. They're not responsible for paying the moving expenses. So, yeah, she was kind of a spoiled brat. And plus, there's one thing in that video that stood out to me, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is. When she tried saying, what she said to the judge. Let me play that one more time.
I stopped paying rent in January because the house is Terroshus.
Terroshus.
There's roaches.
Oh, it has roaches.
sorry.
I didn't know what you said. Oh, there's a new word and I wanted to learn it. Okay.
I thought that part was funny, but I knew what she was trying to say, the real word she was trying to say, but she didn't say it right in that clip. Okay, this is what she was really trying to say. Let me show you.
Immediately! Oh, your spelling's atrocious, Ed.
So, the word she was really trying... Double D from Ed, Ed, and Eddie said it right. The word she was really trying to say was atrocious. Double D from Ed, Ed, and Eddie said it right. But she didn't know how to say the word, so instead, she said Terroshus. Like Terroshus. What the hell is Terroshus? That's not a real word. I tried Googling it and didn't find anything. Terroshus. And then the judge was asking her, Terroshus, is that a new word? I want to learn it too. Then she realized she didn't know how to say the word at all, so she switched to saying, the house has roaches. I thought that was funny. That was a smart move on her part to say that the house has roaches. Like, to switch it like that, but she was really trying to say the house was atrocious, but she ended up saying Terroshus instead because she didn't know how to say the word. But honestly, she has no grasp on reality if she really thinks that the landlord has to pay her $3,000 because he evicted her. That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, the landlord has a right to evict her because he owns that place and he owns that apartment. I never rented an apartment. I still live with my adoptive parents right now, even though I'm going to be 20 years old next week. But earlier this week, I was looking at this one house that I want to buy in Key West, Florida that looks pretty nice, but it's going to take me a couple years to save up for it. And it's right next to a Walmart, too, so I'll be set for life. Gosh, it's a cheap house, obviously. So, Terroshus. That was a funny word. I'm gonna add it on this website. I'm not sure if any of you guys heard of this, but there's this website called urbandictionary.com where you can like submit a word and submit the definition of the word. I have it loaded up on my computer right now, and I'm gonna type it in because I need to submit that word. It's a new word. It's a new word. I think it's interesting, and I'm gonna add it in. Okay, word. Terroshus. Okay, spell wait a second, it's Terroshus. Terrorshus. Alright, Terroshus. Alright, the definition. And what word am I looking for? And insophisticated. Now I don't know how to say my word. Insophisticated. Is that a word? Let me see. Insophisticated. Oh, it isn't. What about unsophisticated? Okay. Unsophisticated. Oh, no, that's not a word. Okay. A stupid way, that's good enough, of saying the word atrocious. Not even sure if I spelled that right. Let me see. Okay, I spelled that right. Thank God for Google spell check. So, a stupid way of saying the word atrocious. Mostly used by funny people or spoiled brats. That's funny. Okay, type an example of how it's used in a sentence. Okay. Random lady. I stopped paying rent on the house because the house is Terroshus. Judge. Terroshus? Is that a new word? I want to learn it too. God. If this is all going to make sense once you guys actually see the word. Random lady. After realizing she doesn't know how to say atrocious. I'm sorry, I meant it has roaches. God, I feel like an asshole right now. Alright, so I'm going to submit that right now. So, submit. Your definition will go up on the review by your peers soon. Once the decisions were made, we'll send you an email and let you know. Hopefully that gets approved. If it does, I'll have the link in the description. So yeah, I submitted that to Urban Dictionary. New word on Urban Dictionary. I want you guys to learn it too, so yeah. But, now I have a challenge for everyone. Try using the word Terroshus and try using the word Terroshus in your everyday life. Like if you're like walking down the street and it's really cold outside and say, "Oh, the weather out here is Terroshus." And if you do that, if you use the word Terroshus, you will win an imaginary gold star. So you'll win an imaginary gold star from Joe Winko. So there, that will be your prize. And also, if you use Terroshus in a Twitter status, like saying, "Oh, this is Terroshus," or if you post a picture on Instagram and say, "Look at this is Terroshus, isn't it?" Hashtag my name, Joe Winko, with no spaces. Not sure what corner of the screen I have it in right now. Hashtag my name, I'll find it right away, and I'll give you a shout out in my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So make sure to do that, seriously. I think it's funny. But Terroshus. Actually, to be honest with you, I actually did Google that word, and spell check changed it, got rid of the H between the S and the U, and I found out that Terroshus is actually a giant spider. It's not like a giant spider, but a really big spider, and that creeped me out because I hate spiders. But you know, it makes sense now, the word Terroshus. It's really a combined word of terror and atrocious, because those are two words to describe a giant spider. Terrifying and atrocious, so Terroshus. Now, I never thought of that. Now I think that word, instead of being really stupid, is actually really clever. It's just like the time back when I was in middle school, when I was staying after school for homework club. It was like a stupid thing where we stay after school with teachers and do our homework and then we leave when we're done. It's optional though. This one crazy girl who I talked about in my last episode of Joe Winko Talk, the house party girl episode of Joe Winko Talk, her name was Zila, and she was laughing and goofing around with her friends, and she says, "Alright, and she said this one time during homework club, "Alright, y'all, I don't have time to talk right now. I gotta get my stuff situized." Situized, and I just thought she was saying the word wrong, and I thought she was being stupid at first. But then, later on, I thought about that, and the word situized, it actually makes sense. It's a combined word of the words situated and organized, which equals situized. I thought it was clever. I like that. Situized. It's funny. So, yeah, that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. And yeah, please comment and share your thoughts. What did you think of everything I talked about in this episode? And did any of it make you laugh? Please let me know in the comments section. And what did you think of that woman going to court and suing her landlord? Was it ridiculous? Hopefully you guys agree. So type that in the comments too. So that's it. My Sims 2 horror series, The Rising Dead, is on its way. So be on the lookout for that. I'm doing all the voices by myself in The Rising Dead, so yeah, hopefully no one minds that at all. So please, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to like my fan page on Facebook and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr, because my Tumblr page is kind of dead right now. I never really post anything on it. Well, actually I do, but it never gets looked at by anyone, so please help me change that. So that's it, so peace out, people.